our writer is really interesting. His name is Jim Koof. I'm
Hoof?
just checking. Yeah, you mind if
Like
I
a
check
horse?
something really quick about him? No, not like that's a hoof,
Is that what you...
not a coof.
Oh,
Okay,
I thought you said hoof.
no koof,
Okay.
with a K. And what an interesting fella he is, Logan.
Yeah, what's so interesting about him?
Well, I'll tell you. Um, he was David Greenwald's writing partner in the 80s. Okay. Now, Greenwald had another life prior to Buffy, prior to even writing for the X Files in the 90s. Okay. In the 80s, motherfucker was straight up a screenwriter. Okay. He wrote movies. And his writing partner was this fella, Jim Koof. They wrote all their scripts together. They wrote Class with Rob Lowe and Andrew McCarthy. They wrote Secret Admirer with C. Thomas Howell, which uh what's his face? Greenwald also directed. They worked on a bunch of stuff together. Then they split up. Okay. Greenwald goes to write for TV. Jim Koof sticks around in film and ends up with some pretty major credits. He wrote Stakeout and another Stakeout, which we'll cover eventually on the podcast. Okay. He has a
Hmm.
writing credit on the original Rush Hour.
Wow.
Okay. He has a writing credit on the original National Treasure, which is actually after this episode of Angel.
So you've talked about him a few times.
Yeah, Jim Koof. I think I said talked about Angel on the National Treasure episode. Um,
Probably Rush Hour
yeah,
too.
yeah. He also wrote Operation Dumbo Drop, which is an insane kids movie that takes place in the Vietnam War. If you want to see a kids movie in the Vietnam War, check it out. Um, he worked on Snow Dogs with Cuba Gooding Jr. He worked on Taxi with Jimmy Fallon, and he even got to direct his own in the late 90s, which I've seen and is not that bad, called Gang Related, starring Tupac Shakur and Jim
Wow.
Belushi. But Tupac Shakur is more important. Um, and so Jim Koof is sort of an out there guy. This is just him like, all right, let's work together again, Greenie. Let's do it. And then he went on back to movies after this. He wrote 3 episodes of Angel in the first 2 seasons, then went back to movies, and then hooked back up with David Greenwald, and they created a show together called Grimm, which ran for 6 seasons.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I tried the first episode. It's exactly like Angel, except
Yeah,
bad.
that's what I feel like. Isn't he like a
Yeah,
werewolf or something though?
no, he's straight up a vampire, I believe,
Oh shit.
or he might be a descendant of stuff. I don't know. There's all kinds of lore in that show. Um, It's very light. It's lighter than it's more like Chuck or something, but it's bad. Whatever. I tried to watch
Like
it. I
Chuck and
really wanted
Angel
to
and you
get
don't like
into it.
it.
Yeah, I know. Um anyway, that's that. Jim Koof. This is his first episode of Angel. He writes 2 more next season and then he bails back to movies, do National Treasure. James A. Contner is our director. He's an absolute workhorse. We cannot get rid of this guy this year. Already, he's directed for Buffy, The Harsh Light of Day, The Initiative, Doomed, The Iron Team, all of those. And for Angel, Lonely Heart, Sense and Sensitivity, Parting Gifts, and now this. He'll be
Mm.
back next week directing next week's episode of Buffy. The guy
Wow.
cannot stay off of these sets.
Yeah.
Um,
Right.
yeah. Let's get into Angel. Go for it.
All right. This episode, IMDb says it's only worse than I Will Remember You so far.
And fun fact, Logan, this is a much better episode than I Will Remember You.
Yeah, I agree with you. So we
Yeah.
open up. Angel and Wesley, they're out killing vampires, trying to help this guy Marquez, right?
Yeah. And Marquez might be the LVP of the episode because he's a real like, hey, I say, what up, bro? Like that guy. He's like really poorly written, like street Latino from the late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah, that's fair. I like the part where guts get all over Wesley. That's funny. Angel kills a
Oh, yeah, yeah.
vampire and the
Right,
guts
right.
go
And
all over
he's
him.
in the car.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
like, oh no. Great part. And Faith gets off a bus and she's walking around. There's like a guy follows her, and he's like, "Hey, where you going, little girl? You know this is a bad place for girls like you." And she's like, "Oh yeah, is that true? What are you gonna do about it?" And then she fucking beats him up and takes his keys and is like, "Yeah, now I
Yeah,
have a
she
place to live."
no, he goes, this is a real rough city, especially for a young lady with no money and no place to stay. And then
Yeah,
of
and she's
course
like,
she
"Now I
steals
got
his money and
money."
his keys. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty good. And so she heads up. Also, his jacket. He's like, "You." She's like, "I'm cold," and he's like, "You want my jacket?" And then she beats him up and takes the jacket, which is good. And then we go a lot of stuff in this episode. We're going. It's like that other episode. We kept going back and forth between old time Ireland and today. You remember the
Yeah,
one where he killed his sister and stuff?
y-
Whatever that one was.
yeah, you're referring to the Prodigal,
Yeah,
which
it's
was
like that one a little
only
bit.
3 episodes ago. So we're doing a little more of that.
Yeah. See, yeah. So we're doing that. We see Darla back in this episode, and her and Angel are together at this point, and she's like, Angel. This is like when he's newly a vampire, very, very freshly a
No, it is not.
vampire.
No, it is not.
Oh no?
You're wrong about this. Yeah.
Oh really? But it
They
seemed
are
like he hates eating people, or it's like he's like very weak, hasn't eaten anybody.
yeah. You didn't understand this episode. Okay, I'll explain it to you.
Okay.
Takes place in Romania in 1898. Okay, so what happens is Darla and Angel have been together now for like 150 years, like since she turned him into a vampire. He's a great vampire. He loves killing people. Okay, but the first person we see her bring to him as a snack in this episode happens to be a young gypsy girl. And if you know what happened to Angel, eventually he kills a gypsy girl and her
No, I
entire family curses
understand
him with a
that.
soul. Okay.
But why does he seem weak to start the episode then?
He
Like, why does
doesn't
she
seem
have to
weak to
bring
start the
him?
episode
She brings him the girl and is like, I brought you somebody. And he's
as
like,
a
oh, thank you,
gift.
because I'm so fucking weak. I
It's
can't do it
not because
myself.
no one ever once talks about Angel being weak. Angel is never shown to be weak.
I
This is
thought he was like
something you
acting weak.
decided in your brain.
Yeah, I thought he was acting weak a little bit. By the way, has he abandoned the voice?
No, he's doing it.
He's doing it? Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I just didn't get a full grasp on Angel this episode. I didn't really know what he
I
was
don't
going for.
understand why you would think it's right when he got turned into a vampire. It's
Because
Romania.
it seemed weak and like he didn't know what he
Logan,
was doing.
Logan, if we are in Romania, it's around the time he got his soul.
Okay, I didn't. Sorry. It seemed like he was like had no idea how to do anything. She was like, "Here,
Okay,
I'm gonna
but
get your
just
first kill for
but
you."
all you need, fuck that. All you need is the title card, Romania 1898. That should tell you,
Oh
okay,
yeah,
I know
and then I
exactly
should
what we're
know.
doing.
But we
Yeah.
also have been in Ireland before.
Yeah,
I
that's where he
thought.
got turned into a vampire.
Well, honestly, I think I just didn't see the Romania thing. I thought we were in Ireland. I didn't even think anything about it. But anyway,
Okay. Well, it
I
specifically says
all
Borsa,
right. That doesn't
Romania,
change the rest of the episode with
1898.
Darla. I understand, like he was upset. Darla broke his heart, and because he was turned, and he left, and he didn't want to kill her, or whatever. Okay, so he bites this girl, he eats her. Then we leave that storyline. Okay, go to normal times.
Okay. Are you like annoyed with me? Like I'm just
We said I didn't understand the whole episode because I didn't understand one part of the
no,
thing.
the flashback, the flashback runs through the whole episode. So if you think this is like right when Angel got turned, then it
That doesn't
tells me
change
that
anything.
it does.
I can think that he just got turned and he bit a gypsy girl, and then the gypsy people did the spell on him, and now he has his soul.
But then
Now
you
Darla
think,
broke up with
but
him.
then you think that Angel was a vampire for about a week before he got his soul back. That's a very different character arc for an Angel who spent over 100 years murdering people every day.
Well, no, I didn't actually think that. I didn't actually think that. Uh, I think I thought that then he. Yeah, no, you're right. Like I do know he was a vampire for a long time, and he did lots of killing around the globe and stuff. But it just seemed like when they did this, it seemed like she was like, "Oh, you're." But I do remember her saying like our anniversary gift or whatever. But
You never bought your girlfriend dinner?
nope, never had a girlfriend.
Okay, you never bought a girl dinner?
Yeah.
That's what this is, but vampires.
But when I buy a girl dinner, it's not like she's like, "Oh, I've never eaten before. I don't know where the menu is."
Guess what? That didn't happen
Oh.
in this episode. You made that all up.
Yeah, you're right. I did, but it seemed to me like she was like, you don't know the ropes. Here's your first kill. After this, you're on your own. But eat it while the eating's good.
I need you to respond to mostly things that are on the screen.
All right, fair enough.
Because sometimes I can't trust your brain.
All right. So we go to Angel. He's like, Marquez, you gotta fucking testify. And then Wesley has a great line. He says, I have faith in Angel. And it was like, whoa, okay. Faith in Angel. That's interesting. And then go to a club. Faith dances at the club and she hits on a guy who has a girlfriend. And she's like, don't hit on my
This is it.
boyfriend. Yeah. And then
This sequence fucking rules. And they're playing some weird dance remix of Living Dead Girl by Rob Zombie. And she just causes chaos in the club. Everyone's kicking the shit out of each other. She's having a blast. I love Eliza Dushku in this scene.
yep, having a great time. And we catch up with Wolfram and Hart. Cool to see those
Yeah.
guys. We see Lindsay and Lee and the other Lila from that fighting episode.
This is like the all-star team of Wolfram and Hart. We first met Lindsay in the pilot. We haven't seen him since. Here he is again. We first met Lila a couple episodes ago back in The Ring. Okay. And of course, Lee Mercer we saw back in Sense and Sensitivity. And they're all back now in 5x5. And we're going to do a lot more shit with Wolfram and Hart. And these are our characters. We've now established them all.
Yeah.
Except for their boss.
Oh, okay. I hope
No.
it's the mayor somehow. I don't know. But so it's a cool moment where they're about to Wolfram and Hart are about to win a case, and then Angel comes in with Marquez, and then he's like, he testifies. So they're mad.
Yeah. It's like when Omar testifies in The Wire.
Yeah. One day I'm gonna watch The Wire and I'm gonna be like, well, I know fucking Omar's about to testify.
Yeah.
This is ruined for
okay.
me.
It won't
right.
be, I promise.
Great moment here, Cordelia. I thought this would be a funny one-off moment, but it sort of goes through the rest of the episode where Cordelia accepts a divorce case.
Yeah.
Very funny.
Yeah.
I guess we'll see where that goes, maybe, or is this
no, I think we do follow through with that.
good? I'm excited to see.
Yeah.
And but here we go. Lila, she told those guys, they're like, we have a photo of Faith. We're gonna go get Faith. But Lila said, no, you guys are stupid. I know how to handle this. I'll go get Faith. So she goes to Faith, and they're like, oh, what's your favorite color? I like green. I like black. And then they get in a limo, right?
Yeah, Lee shows up in the backseat of a limo.
Yeah, so they get in the limo and they tell her, like, hey, there's a warrant out. People are trying to arrest you, but we can take care of all that if you take care of Angel for us. And she's like,
yeah, they're like, we'll get you off. And of course, Faith is like, oh, Arya, I've promised that before.
yeah. But it's a little silly. Like, why would they? But I guess that's the thing people say. That's like the way you phrase it.
Yeah, that's
right?
a law term.
Yeah, but it seems a little silly. But I mean, I guess not. Whatever. So anyway, they go to what happened? We'll go back in time again.
Maybe
Ireland slash wherever. What did you say?
Romania.
Dude,
this will help you. Remember that the gypsy he ate is Romanian.
Is what?
Is Romanian.
Oh yeah, that's such an easy way to remember it. So we go to
what
Romania.
is hard about that? Gypsies
I don't know.
Are Romanian.
Oh yeah, really? That's the thing about gypsies?
Yeah.
I didn't know. Sorry.
Right,
so Angel, he's like, Darla, remember that girl that I ate? She was a fucking gypsy, and her family came and they like put a curse on me, and now I feel bad about all the people that I killed. And she's like, what? Get out of my house. And she says, if you come back, I'll kill you. And he's like, oh, and he runs off into the snow, all sad.
Was it snowing?
I don't know. I felt like it should be. It wasn't. But does it snow in Romania? I don't know.
I have no idea, but it is definitely not snowing in this episode.
Oh, okay. So I made that up.
Yeah.
All right. So Cordelia, Wesley, and Angel, they're like, all right, let's go to this case, Cordelia. And she's like, oh yeah, by the way, it's like a divorce. And they're like, what? Divorce? And then Faith shows up and she like shoots an arrow at Angel, but he catches it. And then she runs off, I think.
Yeah, I like that moment. It's real cool.
Okay, but Cordelia did say like he did the husband did say his wife was a witch.
That's right.
It's pretty funny. Are they thinking like, all right, we'll go in case she's a witch? Like that's why they're committed to it in case she actually is a witch.
No, not at all. I think they're just doing it on behalf of Cordelia.
Why? They have no authority. It's like a divorce case. They have no experience
Well,
with that.
I don't think they're doing the actual case. I think like Cordelia has them maybe like spying on somebody to see if they're cheating or something.
Well, no, because I had to find out a little more. And so we go to there's like Wesley reminds us that he was Faith's watcher.
Yeah.
Great moment there. But what was up with Angel? He was like, everything was good with Buffy until fucking British dude showed up and was like ruined everything. What did he ruin?
He's referencing the episode Consequences, I believe, where Angel was like trying to talk to Faith and like walk her through like how he feels remorse for murdering people, but that doesn't have to be the end of your life. Like you can, recalibrate and decide who you want to be in the future. And then while all that was going on, like she was finally like starting to get somewhere. And uh, remember Wesley and the Watchers Council break into Angel's house and take Faith and take her to the docks.
Really?
Yeah, because they're gonna like take her back to England.
I don't remember that. I mean, I do remember that, but I don't remember like Wesley ruining
Yeah,
the
Wes,
relationship.
it is like Wesley. Um, I understand why he did it. His idea was like, we got to get her in front of the Watchers Council as soon as possible for like, judgment. And, but, Buffy's idea was let me have her talk to Angel and see if we can get somewhere, like, because she's rehabilitatable.
Right. Two different methods, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, damn. So good for Angel, I guess, for getting over it. Now he's friends with Wesley, I guess. I never even really remembered that.
And I think good continuity for the show. Sort of like the
Yeah.
characters are in a very different place right now, but like we're still able to acknowledge where they once were.
Yeah. And a good reminder for me who didn't remember.
Yeah.
So moment here where Faith shows up again, I guess, where and she gives Angel a gun and is like, "Hey, I'll give you a shot. Try to kill me or something." And he shoots at her, but it's a blank. But then she shoots at him and it's real. And it's like, oh, I guess like she was ready to die if he unloaded on her at that moment, I guess is what we're supposed to think.
No, I think she knew what was going to happen.
Oh, really? But
She
like,
she like she gets Angel. She didn't think I don't think she thought he was going to even shoot, but when he did shoot the blank, he wasn't shooting to kill. He was like aiming at her stomach and he throws the gun back and then there's the bullet in there.
but then what's the purpose of this scene? Because then she just like runs off.
The purpose of the scene is she wants to see whether Angel is ready to kill her. And this tells her that he's not in quote unquote the game yet. Like she wants this to be like a death match between her and Angel, but she wants Angel to be on board with that.
Yeah, and he never really is. So we go to Angel goes back to the to Wolfram and Hart, and he's like, hey, man, that meeting was crazy. Stocks are going up, and then the other guy
Oh,
says
we missed did
down.
we missed the part where Faith smashes Lee's face into the desk a bunch of times.
Oh yeah, and then they're like, remember that reservation for 4? Make it 3.
Yeah, and we didn't see Lee again in this episode, right?
Yeah, is he in the hospital?
No, next time we see him, he'll have like all kinds of bandages on his face and shit. It's pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, good
Um,
moment.
but anyway, yeah, Angel is pretending to be a lawyer.
Yeah, and they're like, "Well, market's crazy." And then he walks into a room, and he reminds us of that moment when he threw the guy out the window and he caught on
Yeah.
fire. That was cool. And but
Yeah.
then like nothing happens in this scene either. He's just like, "All right, I'm in town," and he walks out. He's like, "All right, whatever."
Um, it's sort of reigniting the rivalry between Angel and Wolfram and Hart. Um, it's just important to have him in a scene with Lindsay at this point.
But why does
I
Angel do that? Why does he go like, "Hey, I'm coming"? Like, why? I don't understand.
I
Like,
don't
why is he
remember. What was
threatening
the
him? Kind of.
purpose of going in there?
Yeah, he's
I
like,
guess
at one
have
time I
more
threw a guy out. I'll do
information.
the same to you or something. That's weird.
I think he's threatening them for fucking around with Faith.
Yeah, that's not the
Uh,
thing he does really. He's just like a taking care of business. He's not like a threaten kind of guy. He's
I
more a
guess you're right.
doer kind of.
I think he's sick of these fuckers though. They keep popping up.
Yeah. All right. So fun moment. Cordelia
And we
is
also find out in that scene that Wolfram and Hart has vampire detecting software in their security systems.
right.
And that comes into play more later.
Right, because they're like, we can see you on the cameras. We can turn
Mm.
it into authorities. I don't know. And but fun moment here, Cordelia goes home
It's
with
not
Wesley.
that. They're like, we know you're a vamp. We every time a vampire steps foot in here, we know that you're here and we have people trained to kill you.
So otherwise he wouldn't
They're
be
not
caught on
going to turn
camera, but
Angel
these
over to the
cameras are.
they're not going to turn Angel over to the authorities.
Why not?
No, he would be caught on camera regardless, but
He's a
there's
vampire. What do you mean?
something
I
we've
thought we
seen
established they're not caught on camera.
we've established that they really shouldn't be technically, but we've seen vampires on camera many times in the series.
There was some mess up once where like they were not in a video, but then they were like in a photo.
Ever since episode 6 of season 2, Halloween, where we see a vampire shooting video of Buffy fighting other vampires so that Spike can study Buffy's fighting style later on, we have established that vampires can be seen on film.
Can. Yes.
Can.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Yes.
So we go
I assume
to
what he's saying is like a vampire comes into Wolfram and Hart and like something will say like their body temperature is below, a 98. They are room temperature. Kill them.
right. Yeah, I guess we'll hopefully we find out. We see from the camera POV. But so Cordelia and Wesley get to Cordelia's house and Phantom Dennis doesn't want to let him in because he's like, "Oh no, Cordelia's gonna have a boyfriend."
They should have
But
trusted him. That's not why he was doing it. That's why they thought he was doing it. He was doing it because Faith's in there.
oh, wow. But that is his move. He hates guys. Remember that one episode?
Logan, what is with you in this episode?
What do you mean? Well, I didn't know. I didn't know she was.
I feel
He
like
was
there's
trying
a
to
bunch
keep.
of really simple shit that you're just like not computing.
I thought we were just reminding us of Phantom Dennis. I really didn't think he had anything to do with Faith.
Faith's in there.
I
Faith's in
know.
the apartment. So
I
he's trying to
know.
not let them in there.
Yeah, I didn't think about it. You've seen this episode 15 times. Of course, when you watch it, you're
Yeah, but
like, oh, he's.
I can also watch something once and understand what's happening scene to scene.
Oh, well, when I watch it, I'm like, all right, they're reminding us of Dennis, and then I didn't think about it. I'm
All
sorry.
right.
Sorry.
You don't have to apologize. I'm just like, it's weird. You were fine on Buffy. This is an anomaly.
Well, this show's more all over the place. I got more random shit going on.
All right.
All right, so Phantom Dennis, Faith comes out and she's like, "Hey, I'm gonna beat you guys up." And then she like has glass and she tortures Wesley, whatever. And then we go back to Romania, right? Romania.
Uh-huh.
I prefer Transylvania. That's where Van Helsing was made,
Mm-hmm.
or it's where it takes place anyway. So
Pretty sure that's
Angel,
not
he's
a
like,
real place, is it?
I think so. I don't know. It's like the
It
North
might
Pole.
be. I actually don't really know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know either. But Angel, he's like, guys, I'm gonna beat you up and then
It
eat your
is a real
girlfriend.
place. I want to go there.
Let's go
Yeah,
to
let's go on a
Transylvania.
class trip.
Yeah, let's
We'll
go,
go.
guys.
Let's go there and record our episodes on Anne Rice's interview with the vampire franchise.
Anne Rice.
Yeah,
What'd you say?
Anne Rice's interview with the vampire franchise.
That's a franchise?
Well, Queen of the Damned is part of it.
All right. So the angel, he like beats up guys and he's gonna eat this woman, but then he doesn't eat her.
Yeah, that's right. We see him like take her into an alley, and at first I was gonna be like judgy of Angel. Like I know you have been without a soul for years,
Like
but
the
you got a
judge. He
soul
was
now. Like
judgy.
what?
Remember that?
What? Yep. I'm like, what are you doing? Like you just like killed a lady like day one with a soul? That's wild. But
But
he didn't do
no,
it. Yeah.
there's a switch. Yeah. And great part here where Angel shows up, right? And I have a few questions. Angel shows up, I assume to Cordelia's place, right?
Um,
Finds Cordelia because they were just interacting with Phantom Dennis.
I I don't even know if they're in Cordelia's place right now.
They were Phantom Dennis tried to keep him out.
Yeah, but are they not in like where Cordelia where Faith is staying right now? This doesn't look like Cordelia's home.
That's why I had questions well because Angel she knocks them out. She's there and she like knocks out Faith
Yeah,
and
what happens
Wesley.
is
Does she
she
take
knocks
Wesley somewhere though?
yes, yeah, that's what happens. She knocks out Cordelia and she takes Wesley to where she's staying, which is the home of that guy she killed at the bus station.
Right. Right. So yeah, so Angel shows up and finds Cordelia like knocked out, and then they go to Faith's place, I guess.
Yeah.
And so Faith is like she like drops glass, and you're like, oh no, she killed Wesley. I
Angel
guess you're supposed to think.
probably knows where Faith is living because of his trip to Wolfram and Hart. So that might be the purpose of that.
Well, they do at some point learn like this is her location. I don't remember where
Oh,
that
okay.
happens, but I don't. It might be there. I don't know. But Angel breaks in. He and Faith get into a big fight. It's actually intercut here where we learn that he didn't eat that woman. So I think
Yeah.
you're supposed to think like into the next scene that he might have, and then we learn he didn't. But then anyway, he's fighting Faith, and keep
But
seeing
I
Wesley.
think the purpose of that flashback is also proof positive that like redemption is possible from anything. And I mean that's what we're going for here. Like he's not there to beat the shit out of Faith because of what she did to Buffy, and he knows like a little bit of what she did to Buffy because we see him speaking to Giles on the phone at one point in the episode. He
Oh
says
yeah,
apparently
yeah, we didn't bring that up.
apparently it was rough. Um and he's there to try and work this through with her. And I think that helps the flashbacks.
Yes, yeah, and we learned that he didn't kill the woman same way he's not going to kill Faith when she asks him to kill her. He's
Yeah.
not a murderer, this guy. It is it is a lot like that other episode where he broke into the house. I mean, it's a little like the opposite of that episode where he broke into his house to kill his family, and at the end of the episode, he can't get in to save her dad. Like, and then in this one, it's like doing
The
the same thing.
prodigal.
Like we're
Yeah,
using
yeah.
the flashback to mirror kind of what's happening now.
Yeah, I they are similar. I do think this is an improvement on that episode.
I agree, and especially because of this ending. I think right here, this is a great
Yeah.
ending where Wesley comes out. He's like, "I'm gonna kill her." You think he might come out and kill
You
her,
see him grab a knife from the
and it would make
drawer.
sense, like we set up earlier. He has the line like, "I was your watcher." That was a big deal to him, right? That
Well, I mean, she tortures him. We see her literally torture him in this episode, and he's got that great moment where he says, "You're a piece of shit," and she
why did he
fucking.
say shite? I
I
think
don't.
he actually says shh, and she cuts him off.
Yeah,
Doesn't
she does.
yeah?
That's exactly what happens because you're not allowed to say shit on the WB.
He would have said shite. That would have been okay, right?
That's not allowed either.
Oh my
Um,
god. But yeah, it would have made sense for Wesley to kill her. I thought they were doing a good job setting all of that up. But he comes down and she's like, "Oh, kill me!" But he doesn't do it.
yeah.
Angel or Wesley, neither of them.
And Wesley drops the knife and she collapses into his arms in the rain. Pouring rain. One of the great things about this scene is that rain was written into the script and they cut it out because of budget reasons. And then when they went to film, it was randomly raining really fucking hard that day,
Awesome!
and they were able to get it.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. So, I I thought this was a. I mean, the faith stuff I really liked. The Marquez is pretty lame, like all the stuff with Mark, but he's just
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
means to an ends with Wolfram and Hart, basically.
Once we're through like the first like 5 minutes of it, like after the courtroom thing with Marquez, like I love the rest of the episode. Like it's perfect.
Yeah, basically, I loved all the stuff in Ireland. That's all of that part of the episode was really good.
Stop it.
um, Phantom Dennis, cool appearance,
Yeah, I loved the way he was still protecting her from her dates. That was great.
and from Faith even.
Oh, good point.
I'm gonna edit this episode to make me look so good. I could because I keep like correcting everything that you say. Oh man. But I'm gonna go four stars.
Me too.
And this, I think the clearest cut Angel better than Buffy week we've had probably.
I agree. I agree. It's the first clear cut one, and I think that you could pop this right at the top of my list.
Oh, so your previous top was of course the Prodigal. So we really like
Hmm.
these when they do this, I guess. Because my favorite was also the Prodigal, but I agree. I
They're
think this is
really
better
good at
Prodigal.
flashbacks. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so this is our new number one. My MVP, I wrote down three names. I wrote Faith, I wrote Angel, and I wrote Wesley.
Wesley's mine. I love Wesley in this episode. This is really, you know how I said Wesley's my favorite character Joss Whedon ever created.
Yeah, I still don't really understand that, but
I know, but to me, this is the beginning. Like this episode marks the beginning of the Wes character arc that makes me believe that.
did you say Wes?
Yeah.
I think you said Wes. No, when I was watching this, I actually feel like I might have gotten that feeling um, like this might be the start of like Daniel's real. I feel like I kind of understood that,
Yeah.
but I
We're
but
sort of hinting at it. Like I've got you under my skin, had this stuff about his father, and then in Eternity, when Angel becomes Angelus, the stuff about him having um an inferiority complex. Like we're
yeah,
starting to like develop Wesley around the edges. And this is the first time I think we're seeing the Wesley that's my Wesley.
yeah. No, I understand that, but it's gonna be hard for him to catch Buffy, Spike, Anya,
Oh yeah.
Giles,
I know.
Xander. Love
Yeah.
a lot of those guys.
Me too.
Even Angel
Yeah.
And Cordelia. Cordelia can be annoying. She's probably the most hit or miss character here, but I love Cordelia. But I mean, what Wes is up there. Wes is like up there along with these guys. I don't like him any less. So
No, but he there's so much more to see.
all right,
Yeah.
so much to do, so much to see. So what's
Yeah.
wrong with taking the back streets? You never know if you don't go. You never shine if you don't glow.
Very good. Wow, what moving lyrics, especially in the wake of Robert Harwell's untimely
Oh yeah,
passing.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
So LVP, I'm gonna go with Marquez. Pretty easy one this week.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Yeah, I liked Lindsay. I liked Lee. I liked Lila Morgan. I thought that they were all good this
Let's
episode.
call a spade a spade. Lee's the weakest of the three Wolfman Harders.
I liked them. I thought it was pretty specific. I thought I liked the actor.
No, I do too. It's a good performance. Like he's
He's
smarmier than the
lame,
other
but
two. Yeah, yeah. He's smarmier and dumber, I think, than the other two.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, but he's good.
yeah, he's good on that level. Um, all right.
So what's
Are
next? Oh, we
we
read for the Patreon. Let me read from the. So first, we've only got comments from Josh this week. I feel like that's what it's been the last 3 or 4 weeks. But
he's always
Josh,
just like right on, like right away. He's ready.
Josh Morris says, Buffy, okay, we're horny. This episode has its moments, but overall isn't that great. Never knew Giles was into Limp Bizkit. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Good
I
one.
agree. It has its moments overall, not that great. And then he says about Angel, interesting. Pretty good app overall, but the whole time, I had a nagging feeling like it was really by the numbers and lacking heart. Well, Wolfram and Heart, they're all over this episode. I don't know
Yeah,
what
so
you
I
think.
don't even know what you're talking about.
What's the Heart episode? Is there an episode about a heart? Lonely? No, what is it?
Lonely Heart.
Lonely
Yeah,
Heart. Yeah, the second
yeah.
episode. Uh, but the last 10 seconds hit me like a ton of bricks. I'm not sure how deliberate that juxtaposition is and how much credit I should give them for that. Great
It's
ending either way.
deliberate.
What's the juxtaposition here? Like that and like when he was moving back in time?
I'm not really sure. He's either referring to that or the juxtaposition of Angel and Wesley's approaches to the situation, maybe. But I do think everything in that scene, like for me, 5 by 5 is almost the pilot of Angel.
Interesting.
Like I when I was younger and like Angel was still on the air and I had like Buffy friends that weren't as into Angel, I would always tell them just skip the whole fucking first season, start with 5 by 5, and that's your show.
Like how WrestleMania 1 is the start of wrestling for you.
Yeah, well, that is just technically for everybody.
Oh, you know
But
what my start of wrestling is? I think I kind of thought about this.
what?
Whenever the Undertaker shows up,
All right. Well, we're getting there.
that's when wrestling
Um,
starts. Wrestling starts with the Undertaker.
we might see him in WCW first as Mean Mark Callis.
Oh wow, that'd be fun. That'd be cool.
But yeah, I like 5 by 5 represents, I think, a sea change in Angel, and the quality never dips again.
Okay. I can't wait. I mean, this is a 9 on IMDb. That's pretty high.
We are past the early days. Like to me, episodes 1 through 17 of Angel, that's an era. That represents an era of Angel, and we're past it now.
Well, I love it. I can't wait. It was a great ending. I don't know if we really talked about it, but she's asking for them to kill her. It's very, very sad.
And I think that Alexis Denisov, David Boreanaz, and Eliza Dushku, all three of them are spectacular here.
Yeah. It's cool that like I didn't know anything about the rain, but they probably were like, all right, we got like one shot. Let's do this. It was probably cool. Like the energy was probably great in that moment.
You're probably right. Yeah.
So that was probably
and
cool.
They're really all they're giving it their all. It's really well done. I think it's beautifully shot by Contner. I wish Jim Koof wrote for the show longer.
Yeah.
2 of his 3 episodes are really good.
What's the other
one? There's one in season 2 that's a little weak, but
what's the other one he did though? The previous one?
This is his first one. Yeah, the other 2 are both in season 2.
All right, well that's exciting. But yeah, great Angel episode, better than Buffy. What's next week?
Next week.
Oh, we didn't finish this thing. He said the great ending either way. MVP Wesley for when he called Faith a piece of shit.
Yeah.
But he only called her a piece of Cut him off.
All right. Next week on Buffy.
I also like that part where Angel, where she's like, I'm young, so they're putting me on this job. And he's like, are you young? You look all worn out, all old and worn out. And she's like, fuck you. Too. And they start fighting. That's cool.
Yeah. She's been through a lot in her couple of years.
She does look so tired. Like,
yeah. Well, I mean, she just probably slept on a bus. Like she
has that apartment.
Oh yeah, you're right. But she's going out every night killing people and shit. Yeah. We got next week on Buffy. It's called New Moon Rising.
What is this? That's the one where Bella tries to jump off the cliff a bunch, right?
No, but think about Buffy. What character
Buffy tries to
is often associated with the moon?
Oz?
Interesting. Okay, and next
we got to
week
bring Adam back. I like we got to do like Adam with his crew. Maybe Oz is in his crew. That'd be kind of cool.
That would be great.
It would make sense. He's drafting but bad like villains.
Yeah, I need a werewolf.
I mean, he's not a villain, but he's like supernatural.
Yeah. And next week on Angel, sorry, that episode is called Sanctuary.
Well, you got to think it's about Angel trying to give Faith like a good life. Be like, hey, don't kill yourself.
That's a great call, Logan. That is what next week's episode of Angel is about.
Makes sense.
Yeah. All right. So
maybe he plays that Logic song for her. He's like, hey, there's a better life out there.
I don't think that exists yet.
I don't want to die.
You know what the weirdest thing is? I've only tried to kill myself in real life once, Logan, and the only time I did it was directly after listening to that Logic song.
I thought you were gonna say during it, which would have been even better.
No, the Logic song ended, and I was like, well, I guess I don't want to live on this world anymore.
Did you actually try to kill yourself?
No, I'm joking.
Okay.
That was a great joke about how terrible that Logic song is.
That's the outro.
Yeah. No, please don't. I don't even. I do not want to represent that song.
What's the outro though? What are we talking about?
Papa Roach. Cut my life
I don't want to Papa Roach.
Piece.
Maybe you gotta be represented by Papa Roach.
Figure 8 by Elliott Smith.
Maybe.
Yeah. All right. And we've got, or you could do that song "Playground Love" from Virgin Suicides.
I don't know what that is.
the best song on the soundtrack. Um, we've got all right, so two really good episodes next week: New Moon Rising and Sanctuary. Be back for that.